Not to be that bitch, by which I mean Citadel. Excuse you? But when am I getting my sequels? I know I have a sale going on right now, but that's just gonna increase the amount of people who want to know what happens next. Your next installments will be out, hopefully by the end of this year, but given how things are going, we're probably gonna have to wait until 2025. Isn't that when Heart of Iron comes out too? Yeah, but I'm at the end of the year, sometime in fall, so you've got winter, spring, and summer. Actually... Oh no. Is that when my sequel comes out? No, not that quick. But I was nominated for the Minnesota Book Award. You know what would have been actually impressive is winning that award. Give me a break, I was going against Emma Tors. Excuses, excuses. Well, let's wait until you're actually published, then we'll see how you do. Awards don't pay bills. They don't?
No!
I am so sorry, I did not mean to scare you. Who the fuck is this? Oh no. This is The Witch Who Trades with Death, and she will be published in March of 2025 by Angry Robot. I am never getting my sequels. You've been working on a secret other novel this whole time? In my defense, there was a solid chunk of time between waiting for the edits of you and Citadel, and I got a little bored. Bored? This was before you, alright? Cafe Latte had only just gotten started. What about Kingdom of Starlight? I thought they were your other project. Kingdom of Starlight is at least a trilogy. Witch Who Trades with Death is a standalone, and I have to limit the amount of series that I start for my own sanity. That's never stopped you before. Well, I suppose that makes sense. What genre? Oh, I'm a dark fantasy. You. Yeah, that tracks. Specifically a dark epic fantasy. In that shirt. Isn't it adorable? There are frogs on there. They're on an ice cream cone. The poison dart frog is one of the big symbols in my book. When are we getting some more science fiction? Never. You're a fluke. Yeah, fantasy's way more fun. What's the plot? Okay, so you know those stories, usually in contemporary fiction or horror, where the main character is in this DV situation, so she runs away and finds a community or found family that builds her up, so when her abuser finally tracks her down, she kicks their ass? It's that, but with witchcraft and evil empires. You are just a mess of tropes, aren't you? And you're a stuck-up bitch. Oh! Girls, behave. Sorry, I'm a little spicy. A little what? You're spicy? Like, on-screen spicy, not just, like, implied spicy? Mm-hmm. Are you sure you're in a Alongi book? It's just one scene. Then why wasn't it cut? It's kind of necessary for the plot. Yeah, guys, I put her main character through 8 layers of hell. She deserves to get laid before the climax. I thought the climax happened while you got laid. Only if you're doing it right. Is it at least a queer pairing? The main pairing is unfortunately cishet. However, the main character's best friend is bi, the mentor's a lesbian, there's a non-binary character running around. Weak. Oh, don't worry, I should be able to make up for that disappointment when I come out of the closet. Ayy! I thought I was a fun ride. Given your trigger warnings, fun is not the word I would use. Do you at least have a happy or happy-ish ending? Do not make a massage parlor joke. Absolutely, the villain gets his comeuppance and everything. Oh goody, take note, Citadel. Hey, my ending was clearly an open door for a sequel, you self-published swine. Citadel, you know that self-published stories are just as good as traditional. That sounds like something an unpublished author would say. Well, one of those self-pub stories actually won that Minnesota Book Award that you lost. Just because something is more accessible doesn't mean that it's lower quality. Exactly. Some authors prefer trad pub, some prefer self-pub, and some, like me, like both, depending on the project. But anybody can self-publish something. You can upload your first draft onto Amazon KDP and no one will stop you. But will they buy it? Nominate it for an award? Support the author's career? You're not gonna upload my rough draft like that, are you? Absolutely not. You are going through an absolute gauntlet of editors and beta readers. Fuck yeah! You say that now, but the editing process sucks ass. It really does. I'm in it right now, and because I'm traditionally published through Angry Robot, there's that risk of a power struggle between publisher and author. I don't recall that happening with Blackstone Publishing. You didn't need many changes. Witch Who Trades with Death does. And on top of that, a lot of authors have to sacrifice creative integrity because a publisher's job is to make money, first, last, and everything between, and they're the ones with the legal authority. And you don't want money. Sure, but I've already built a platform of readers who want my style of storytelling, not a knockoff of someone else's. And I was able to build that platform very quickly, not just because of TikTok, but because of Blackwing, who came out much faster than anything the trad publishers could do thanks to being self-published. Those paychecks also helped me stop working food service and do this full-time. Can't write if you can't eat. Yeah, and publishers pay fucking pennies. 80% of authors need a second job, whether they're trad or self-pubbed. Any other industry would have been slammed for paying their workers less than starvation wages, but because authors are considered contract workers... Yeah, and that's not even touching on the industry's treatment of authors of color, or how women are typically shoved in the boxes of romance or young adult, regardless of the content of their books. Do we really want to be talking about this before I'm traditionally published? Oh please, Angry Robot knows what it signed on for. Do they? I was written because in our increasingly divisive society, it's important to remember the value of dialogue and the dangers of dehumanizing others. I was written mostly as a marketing ploy to create a base of readers who would actually want to buy that. Hey! But now I've kind of taken on a life of my own. I'm being written as a spin-off or AU of the Cafe Latte series, which is the focal point of our author's career and the only reason she can put food on the table. Oh, she wrote me because she was bored. The fuck? Yeah, that tracks. Do all of us have the strong female character trope? Well, that depends on what you mean. If you're referring to a female character who is physically strong and capable, but whose character arc revolves around being the love interest to the man, if her arc exists at all, then no, I don't believe any of us fell for that. But if you mean simply a strong, well-written character who happens to be female, or I should say femme, then yes, we all have those. Oh, wait, does she have to be the main character? Because my main character is non-binary. I don't think that's going to cause an issue. I don't think she has to be the main character, just a major one, at least. Oh, okay, cool, good. You okay there, Witch? You're looking a little nervous. Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine. And I would argue that I do have several strong female characters, but... The main character was assaulted in her backstory? Oh! That's a spicy meatball. Well, every family needs a disappointment. Hey, at least wait until I'm published before you start judging. That's never gonna happen. Being a bitch is her only personality trait. I wouldn't say that. She's also smug and elitist. Eldest privilege. I was published before you. And I was being written years before you were ever a thought in the author's head. Guys, can we not? I just need to know if having an SA and DV backstory negates the strength of my main character. SA and DV? Jesus, you're morbid. Well, like all tropes, it depends on the execution. My story utilizes the dead mother trope, something that Disney alone has done so often it's a meme, but it's still very effective in showcasing the harsh reality of Citadel's laws and the motivations of my main character. Well, yeah, and I've got queer characters being hated on for their use of magic, which is just a big fat metaphor for queerness. Some stories botch that type of thing, while others draw appropriate parallels to modern-day issues in a sensitive and respectful manner. Is the essay necessary to the plot and character development? Because a lot of fumbling comes from having it happen just for shock value. Or fridging for those extra sexism points. No, the entire story is her healing journey and trying to recover from the trauma. Which is difficult because her perpetrator is an emperor set on conquering the land that she's taken refuge in. As much as I enjoy blood and pain from characters, does the scene happen on screen, for lack of a better term? No. The consensual sex with her love interest, totally different character by the way, that is on screen, but not the non-consensual stuff. Ew. Does the perp at least get his comeuppance? Oh yes, in fact... Oh my. I think you'll be fine. Does a great book have to include themes of social issues? In general, no. But to be an Alongi book, yes. Then how did I get written? What the fuck? You don't have any social justice themes? Wait, hold on, doesn't your main character deal with SA and DV? Well, yes, but that's just her individual experience. I don't talk about the widespread issues of rape culture and how anywhere from 1 in 5 to 1 in 3 women are assaulted in their lifetime and the power structures that have made that a reality for centuries. Well, one could argue that simply having those themes and talking about it in a frank manner is social justice enough. Conservatives are very sensitive these days, like snowflakes. That's not how Never mind. Yeah, sometimes just having a queer or woman or POC or disabled character exist is enough to get the social justice label. Our author's already getting pushback for Cafe Latte, and Heart of Iron hasn't even been published yet. A day without making the haters cry is a day without sunshine. I guess. But I don't want to cheapen the label. So don't use it. If you don't talk about social injustices, don't say that you do. But if you do touch on such taboo subjects like SA, DV, and their trauma, you're likely going to inspire discussions about those issues, which is arguably more important than talking about them explicitly within your text. Really? Oh yeah, no one likes a preachy book. Well, the Bible's been a bestseller for the last few centuries, so no one likes a preachy fiction book. I heard it as soon as I said it. Well, okay. And it's not just the main character dealing with it. Her best friend has a similar history that they bond over. Well, aren't you a bundle of joys? Well, and he's constantly getting re-traumatized. Because even though his abuser was exposed to the whole town, she got a very light punishment due to her father being a rich and powerful politician. Oh look, classism. And of course the fact that the victim is descendant of immigrants certainly doesn't help, as there's a definite threat of xenophobia in this town. Yeah, I got news for you, witch. That's 3 social justice themes right there. Really? You are 100% snowflake material. Yay! Okay, so how does your magic system work? Because for me, all powers except necromancy are given or taken away by the gods. Yeah, and I'm kind of a kitchen sink approach with the thinnest layer of justification. A wizard did it, a fairy did it. Yeah, that works. I don't have magic. I'm science fiction. Your characters get telepathy from a plant. An alien plant? Okay, well, some people are just born as witches in my world, and they were actually called necromancers in earlier drafts, but the author didn't want that to confuse Blackwing's readers. Jesus, are we already recycling ideas? There's no such thing as an original story these days. Telepathic telekinetic wolves with wings. Yeah, that's really all just set dressing for the fact that you're a ripoff of every pre-Hunger Games dystopian novel ever written. I'm pretty sure I'm every woman who escapes her abusive partner story ever written, just with magic. And what's that do? Okay, yeah, so every living being has life force, and what my hero and villain can both do is drain that life force, often killing the target, and then using it to heal wounds or get super strength or speed. And that life force has a really colorful glow, so when the glow runs out, they're back to normal. Also, witches can directly contact the personification of death, where they can make deals, similar to like fairies and demons, selling bits of their soul for more of that life force or for different powers entirely, like full-blown necromancy or immortality. Just, hold on, go back. So they drain the spiritual life force of people. Like vampires? I guess? You have sparkly vampires. They sparkle with the souls of their murder victims.